If you're in the US wondering how to move to Canada, you probably have more options than you think. In this episode, I'm going to break down the practical, legal ways that US citizens move to Canada, whether it's short-term, long-term, or something in between. I'm Brooke from Navio. At Navio, we offer Canadian immigration legal advice without the law firm price tag with our tech-powered, expert-driven platform. Whether you're looking for a short-term reprieve or a long-term relocation, in this episode, I'll explain how to visit, work, run a business, study, and transition to permanent residence and become a Canadian citizen if you choose. It's helpful to identify your goals in time horizons, short-term, medium-term, and long-term. This helps build a plan that's going to set you up for success. But don't worry, it can change. So if you need a short-term solution without a long-term goal, but don't worry, it's okay if your plans change. There are many options available that allow you to mix and match temporary and permanent immigration options to suit your needs. Let's start with temporary options. American citizens can visit Canada without a visa to sightsee, visit, attend events, and within that 6 months, if you decide you'd like to stay longer, it's possible to extend that stay, typically for periods of up to 1 year at a time, which is renewable. The key is demonstrating that you'll respect the conditions of your stay. And you can do that by showing that you intend to leave Canada at the end of the authorized stay, which you can do by showing proof of your ties to the US, whether it's family, a job, property, etc. The next is proving that you're going to respect the conditions of your stay. As a visitor, you're not permitted to work or study in Canada. Showing that you have enough money to support yourself and cover the costs of your visit to Canada allows an immigration officer to grant you entry. In fact, you can even work remotely while you're physically in Canada, as long as you are remunerated outside Canada and the business activities remain outside Canada, aka you're not serving Canadian clients. This can be a perfect way to test the waters and explore different regions in Canada to decide what you like and if you want to pursue a longer term stay. For those looking to work, there are lots of options under the Canada-US-Mexico Free Trade Agreement. The first is for professionals, those working in healthcare, education, finance, and other professional occupations who have a job offer from a Canadian employer. Another option is for those working for multinational companies where there are operations in both the US and Canada that have a qualifying corporate relationship. In those cases, senior managers and executives, as well as employees with specialized knowledge, can be transferred to the Canadian operations for up to a period of 7 years. Additionally, if you are looking to come to Canada to establish a business or purchase a business, you can make a significant investment in the startup or acquisition of a business and obtain a work permit to operate the business from within Canada. For those seeking long-term relocation to become a permanent resident and eventually a citizen, there are 3 main options. The express entry system accepts applications from high-skilled workers who have years of skilled work experience, post-secondary education, and strong English and or French language skills. It's even possible to qualify and apply for permanent residence prior to coming to Canada through the Federal Skilled Worker Program. If you have at least a year of full-time continuous skilled work anywhere in the world in the last 10 years, you might be eligible in the Federal Skilled Worker Program. And if you speak French or you have experience in one of Canada's priority professions or occupations, then it's possible to be invited to submit your application for permanent residence through the express entry system from outside Canada without Canadian experience. Alternatively, if you've come to Canada to work on a work permit, once you have a year of full-time skilled experience, you're eligible in the Canadian experience class, assuming you pass an English or French language test. And this can be beneficial as well, even if you're eligible for federal skilled worker, because having the Canadian experience makes you a more desirable candidate in Canada's express entry invitation system, which ultimately means you'll have a higher chance of being invited to apply for permanent residence with that year of Canadian skilled work. If neither of those options are viable, then the provincial nominee program presents a path for those who have job offers in Canada. Now, it's not even necessary to be in the country or have worked in Canada before. Even those with a job offer with a Canadian employer might be eligible to apply through a provincial nominee program. Take, for example, healthcare workers with job offers from public health authorities in British Columbia. It's possible to apply and make significant progress to becoming a permanent resident prior to even setting foot in the country. Finally, if you're in a relationship, like a marriage or common law partnership with a Canadian citizen or permanent resident, you might be able to be sponsored by that person to become a permanent resident of Canada. This application can even be submitted from outside of Canada if your partner is a Canadian citizen. So let's break down the three options. You can enter temporarily, you can apply for permanent residence, or you can do a combination of both. Temporarily, you can visit, study, or work. Permanent residence can be applied for before you come, or you can do a combination of both. Your options are plentiful, and how long or short you stay is totally your call. As an American citizen, you have a clear edge: visa-free travel, accessible work permit options, and clear pathways to permanent residence. Whether you're testing a season here, building a life, there's a clear strategic path possible. To turn your plan into action, visit Navio HQ. It's your headquarters for all things Canadian immigration, and it's totally free for you. Inside, you'll find our PR and work permit pathway selectors, which options are best for you. If you need a little more help, reach out to one of our experts, and we'll gladly provide you with personalized advice on the best strategy to meet your goals.